As we get closer to the Friendship Games and we see more and more shorts coming out, it seems like the plot of the third Equestria Girls movie may involve the concept of one of the stools cheating, and because that one stool cheats, the other stool feels justified in cheating as well. Perhaps the Crystal Prep stool is so immoral and so obsessed with maintaining their perfect reputation that they always cheat, because they're the evil stool, as indicated by their uniforms and their color palette. And then we have the Wonder Colts, who have a series of students who are now magically powered, and they may be tempted to use those magical powers to cheat and have an advantage of some kind. Perhaps there's a way to harness that magic to have some kind of an edge. Sure, Applejack and Rainbow Dash, and maybe even Pinkie Pie can probably win events with no problem. Maybe even Sunset Shimmer as well. But perhaps there are events to which each of the sets has a disadvantage, especially ones like Fluttershy and Rarity. And then we will have situations wherein their magic comes into play and gives them an advantage. Thus, the cheating comes into play. And maybe Twilight Sparkle's role in all this is to see that her stool is composed of kids who don't like being friends and are mean and rude and insensitive and also cheating. And that the other stool has nicer kids who are friendlier to each other and kinder and more loving and more tolerant, but are also cheating. And she can't separate the difference between good and evil in her head because both sides are cheating and both sides are wrong, and that might make her flip out and turn against both sides, forcing both sides to work together as friends and to cooperate to prevent Twilight from doing whatever it is she's about to do, and get her to understand that, hey, now they're getting along, now the cheating has stopped, now they've become friends, and they're working towards a common goal, and she should calm down and accept their apologies. But if this theory, and it's only a theory, were to be true, it would not be the first time. There have been many a movie in which the good guys cheat because the bad guys cheated first, and the bad guys cheating gets punished, and the good guys cheating goes overlooked and unpunished, mainly because the bad guys deserve it, and the good guys are the world's worst team that had no chance of ever winning if they didn't have magical powers or the like, boosting their chances beyond reality into winning. Many episodes of different things like Jimmy Neutron and the Fairy Odd Parents, as well as Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, Goofy movies, certain episodes of DuckTales, and even some of the Marx Brothers movies have all involved heroes cheating at a game and winning because of their cheating, while the referee ignores the obvious cheating going on and awards points to the heroes who are performing the cheating, usually because of the fact that the winning side that is cheating to win is a underdog team full of losers who could never possibly hope to win any fair way because they're all inept and shouldn't be playing sports in the first place. And the bad guys are corrupt and evil and always cheat to win and are big and tough and mean and obsessed with winning at any cost and are unpleasant to be around, therefore they deserve to be punished when the heroes cheat and win. But then there's other movies that do this for the entirety of their plot, as opposed to the shows that I just mentioned that do it in occasional episodes. And that would be things like Angels in the Outfield, where they did it with baseball. And again in Angels in the End Zone, where they did it with football as well. The angels come down from heaven and use their angel powers to help the baseball or football or whatever team win by doing various angel shenanigans, helping guys leap higher and catch things and run faster, and controlling where the ball goes and where the bat hits, and so on and so forth. In like might, we see a similar plot in basketball, when a kid climbs up to get a pair of shoes that are tangled around power lines and he gets electrocuted. A lesson that children really shouldn't be imitating, which is why I never liked the movie. But through this electrocution, he gains the powers to play amazing basketball, under the belief that the shoes were previously owned by Michael Jordan. The computer wore tennis shoes, a much older, more obscure live-action Disney movie. We again, or for the first time really, see the plot of somebody being electrocuted and gaining special powers. In this case, it's the entire knowledge of the computer's database that helps a teen win a quiz tournament, until various events cause him to lose his special powers, and he has to continue the quiz on his own personal knowledge instead of the knowledge bestowed upon him by the computer. In just about every Herbie the Love Bug movie, we also see cheating thanks to the fact that the car is alive, sentient, and somewhat intelligent, and is capable of doing various human-like maneuvers on the racetrack, and can outthink the drivers of the other cars, as well as pulling off various gadgets and special abilities that cars don't normally have. All the while nobody even notices the weirdness going on in the background. But with the exception of cartoon logic and the similarly cartoonish logic of the Marx Brothers when they do amazing things that the referee seems blind to, the first movie, and perhaps one of the most spectacular examples of people using special powers to cheat and have an advantage in a game where they're playing against some evil team that deserves to be punished, goes to the absent-minded professor and its sequel, Son of Flubber. Both of these movies feature the professor inventing Flubber and using Flubber to aid his college team, the college basketball team in the first movie and the football team in the second one, to give them an advantage, whether it's helping the ball to move in any regular fashion or helping the players to jump unrealistically higher. The Flubber gives the sports team a highly unfair advantage with whimsical results. And we see it again in the Disney remake starring Robin Williams, the one that most of you are probably more familiar with because I know nobody ever watches a black and white movie these days. Not to mention the fact that the original of any movie that's had a remake hardly ever airs on TV, period. The point is, all of this using special powers to cheat in a sporting event and get back at a obviously evil team that was cheating to begin with and they deserve their comeuppance thing, is a plot that is as old as the absent-minded professor itself. Possibly even older, though I couldn't find any older examples. It's a story that's been done before, but has gone out of popularity, as the computer wore tennis shoes was the most recent example I could find of this happening up until Light Might, and since then I haven't seen any other examples of this particular plot going on. That's not counting the TV episodes of things like Jimmy Neutron. However, in this modern era of scandals involving sports teams and sports stars cheating with various cheating methods and having to go on the news to explain their actions and publicly apologize or possibly deny their involvement in this scandal, I don't think a cartoon series or a movie could get away with a sports team cheating and coming out on top as being the good guys while the bad guys deserve what they got. I think the more appropriate message, especially for My Little Pony, would be to spell out the moral that it is wrong to cheat no matter who you are. It doesn't matter whether the majority of your team is moral or immoral, cheating is wrong. And that when you get down to the heart of it, there is no such thing as a good stool or an evil stool. It's simply the fact that the two stools are rivals and both want to win. It's not about good versus evil, it's about getting along and being friends. At least that's what I think the moral of the movie should be, and I would be rather disappointed if they villainized everybody in Twilight's stool just because a few members of the class were insensitive jerks. I highly doubt that everybody in Canterlot High is always the moral, upstanding, do the right thing type of personality either. There are hopefully kids in both schools who are moral and just, as well as kids in both schools who are immoral and willing to do the wrong thing. A good, well-written plot should show varieties of characters and variety in personalities and variety in morality and what drives them, and that should be the ultimate lesson, that everybody is different but we can all still get along, and that there is no situation wherein cheating is considered justified. And on that note, I'd like to clarify another thought that popped into my head, that having an easy time at a particular task is not cheating as long as it goes by the book and you're doing something that the other side can also do, as long as you are both equal. A person doing things the easy way and a person doing things the hard way, that is not cheating. Cheating is when you have an unfair advantage over someone and you do something that the other side can't do, or you prevent the other side from doing something that they would normally be able to do, specifically to win. Anyhow, that's all I have to say on the subject before we go off topic. Thank you for watching and good night.